Howdy, and welcome to the first ever video instructional on YouTube. Hope to use YouTube as an instructional tool. I think it has great powers, especially since we're only one time a week. I can kind of fill in the gaps that we have in class. Anyways, let's get started. So to cut this video down to probably like 5 minutes or less. Anyways, they should have all lesson 1. This is a sheet that was passed out in class. If they don't have it, they need it. And I'm trying to make it the student's responsibility to bring it to class, so try and make sure that they don't lose it. If they did lose it, just drop me an email at trumpetdan714@hotmail.com. Hopefully you all know my email address, and I'll send it on over via email. But anyways, let's start first with the trumpet. Okay, I'll kind of go over each instrument and some of the pitfalls that some of the players make. The main goal that I want them to have down at this point in time is the ability to produce 3 notes on their instrument. Now, how to hold the trumpet? We take 2 hands, we make our Spock fingers, I tell them, live long and prosper, and we go 2 above and 2 below, 2 fingers above and 2 fingers below with our middle finger through that ring, and then we wrap. Now the left hand holds all of the weight of the trumpet, and the right hand just comes up on top, valves 1, 2, and 3, and plays with the tips of the fingers. Okay? Sometimes the biggest problem on trumpet is that they play the wrong partial. There's a bunch of different notes that the trumpet can produce with just one fingering. Example here. Here's 2 different notes. 2 different notes, same fingering, and that's called partials. Now the first note that the trumpets learn is a C, and it's on the lowest partial, the lowest note that they can play, most of them, I hope. And the lowest note that they can play with open, okay? And that C sounds like this. Now the next note, D, if we look on lesson 1, another plug, the D is fingered 1 and 3. There's kind of a cool little visual representation called a fingering chart. Press down first valve and third valve. First is the one closest, third is the one furthest away. Push down first and third all the way. If you don't push them down all the way, you get kind of a funky little sound that they all find funny. But yeah, it doesn't work. So push them all the way down. And again, you have to worry about getting the right partial. So this is what it sounds like. If you have your trumpet out, students at home, listen to what the sound and then try and produce that sound at home. D, there you go. Next note is E. You finger it 1 and 2. First and second. You look here, third one down, first and second. Okay. That one sounds like this. Again, worry on hitting the correct partial. Now parents or students, you might notice that you might sound a little bit more like this. That's okay. It takes time to develop these muscles. Buzzing your lips is not a natural thing, something we're not born to do. Well, I can kind of think of some babies that do it naturally. But anyways, I don't think it's a natural thing to do. We have to develop the lip muscles. It's naturally a small muscle, so we have to build them up, just like lifting weights. Anyways, saxophone. Moving on. Now saxophone, kind of tricksy to see from there, but you start with your ring finger on this bottom one right here. Ring finger. And then you do 1, 2, skip to my loo. You skip that little one. We don't like that one. No good. Okay? So 1, 2, skip to my loo. And then this hand comes here and just places the pointer, middle, and ring finger on these bottom 3 keys. The thumb hooks under in the back. Okay? Most of them should know that by now. Kind of in class, I've been checking on them to make sure they've been doing it, and they've been doing a good job. Now, saxophone has a bunch of pitfalls that they can fall into. First thing, let's talk about the neck strap. I see a lot of kids with their neck strap, it's kind of way down here, and they rest their saxophone on the table or the chair, and they get all weird to try and produce the notes. First thing you want to do is try standing up and let the saxophone fall down naturally. Have it adjusted so the mouthpiece comes to the bottom lip, maybe a little bit below, to give you kind of a little room. Okay, that's the first thing. It's going to help them produce a better sound because they're holding it better. Next thing, probably the most common problem that people run into, is that when you hold your saxophone properly, that they accidentally hit these on the side. There's 3 little teardrop-shaped keys on the side, mainly used for higher notes that they're not going to learn for a long time, but they don't cup their hand enough when they do it. So I tell them to cup to the extreme. To the extreme. Yeah, something like that. Same thing on the left hand. On the left hand, if you don't cup, there's 3 keys right there. Hopefully you can see that in YouTube land, in your home computers. 3 keys there. If you don't cup your hand, right here ends up hitting them. So you want to be sure that you don't hit any of those keys. Now the first note, I'll play the 3 notes a little bit quicker this time. 3 notes on the saxophone are going to sound like this. Here's the first one, the G. Here's the A. Here's the B. Now, if you accidentally hit one of these on the side, I'll give you an example. This is what it sounds like. I'll play the G as you're supposed to play it, and then hit a key on accident, and then go back to how you're supposed to be playing it. Because you're going to notice this is going to happen a lot in the beginning until you become more comfortable with the instrument. Here's the correct note, a G. Here it kind of went up. Sounds a little wrong. So listen to this note, the G, and try and reproduce that at home. Okay. Next one, flute. Oh man, the funnest instrument to when you start out. Has the most things you got to learn, but that's okay. Now the flute. Maybe we can get a close-up of this and I can overdub it. But anyways, the flute. Use this little guy as your starting point. There's a little thing sticking out there. Put your pinky on that. That's just to set it. We don't use this pinky one for a while because we're going to be learning some basic notes. But then line your fingers up with the correlating keys. We go 1, 2, skip to my loo. We skip that one. We do pinky, 1, 2, skip to my loo. Hopefully you can see that one that we skipped in there. Next, you take your pinky. When you put it together, there was a key on the end here. You take your pinky on that key and then line it on up. Pinky, line it on up with the correlating fingers. Okay? So to review, this is the hardest part. This is the most, well, one of the parts that flute players struggle with is holding it properly. Okay? Pinky, 1, 2, skip to my loo. Pinky, line it on up. Okay? There's the thumb that belongs on the key in the back. Right there. Thumb goes under. Now, if you are having trouble producing a flute sound, you get it all right, you hold your fingering and just doesn't come out. Here's what you can do. Take just this part, okay? And it's good to practice in front of a mirror for the flute. Good. Some of you in class have already noticed that. It's good practice in front of a mirror. Just produce a sound on this. It sounds a little bit like a train whistle. So you can go around annoying your friends and family over and over again until this becomes second nature. Parents, I'm sorry. Yeah, but anyways. So once that gets down and you're able to hold the flute, you're on the easy street, okay? Because the rest just falls right into place. So some of the things that we can avoid on flute, what a lot of flute players do is they bring their head to the instrument. When they set up their flute ready to play, they go like this. They go down here. So start by looking straight ahead and bringing the flute up without moving the head. And again, the power of the mirror. The mirror's probably a better teacher than me, so get a mirror, maybe a little one like this. I forget what parent, I think it was Jake's mom that gave me this. Thank you very much, Jake's mom. But anyways, so yes, bring the flute to the face. Okay, this is what the 3 notes on flute are going to sound like. Here's the B flat, flute players. This one is pincher, first and last. Pincher, first and last. Okay, you'll see that on lesson 1. There's a little fingering chart there. Try and figure it out. It's like a little game to see if you can figure out where those fingers go within the context of holding it correctly. Okay, next one is a C. It's probably one of the easier notes. We just do the first and the last. Be sure that you don't cover it up in the back. Okay, just first and last. Sounds like this. Hopefully not that sharp, but yes. Okay. Next note is D. Press all the ones you just didn't press. Okay, so you press first and last. Press all the other ones. Okay. Don't just rely on what I'm saying. You know, take a look at here so you can figure it out for yourself. Anywho, clarinet. Clarinet's a little broken. Doesn't work all the time. Hopefully it'll work. I was giving a presentation at one of the schools and just decided to not work that one day. So hopefully it'll work right now. Anyways, clarinets. You have 3 notes to learn.